Okay, now, are we on yet?
No.
Actually, as far as I can see, we're not. I clicked go live, so I think as when the timer goes down, it'll actually let us.
Oh, probably. That's probably how it's gonna work. I mean, we have like a
Yeah,
minute, so
yeah.
actually, we're live right now.
What are we on the? Are we going on
I
the screen?
I
Um,
see your
Born and raised.
I can see your drawing, so I would say yes, you are on.
okay. Hi there. What? Hello, are you YowLife fans? This is Chris and Robinson, creator of YowLifeProductions and sole animator here. I'm here with my special guest, Ethan of BlessedMop. Say hello, Ethan.
Hello. I'm Ethan. I'm Chris's best friend. We've been friends for since middle school for about 11 years now.
Yeah. Ever since sixth grade, pretty much. So,
And I've also voice acted a couple of characters for Kristen, mainly my character.
yeah, because being the best friend, he gets special perks. Uh, so he gets to be in some of my animations. He was in the let's see, Kristen and Ethan Rave Crave. Wait, did I just say no? It was just Rave Party, something like that.
Okay. I already have a question for you from someone. It's from Dino Cooper. You've been missing for almost a year. What is your excuse?
Well, been working on a lot of stuff. I'm sorry I haven't been as productive on my YouTube account lately. Um, but I have been going to college, if that, helps out. I'm trying to get my bachelor's in animation. College life is actually a bit easier for me because I'm fairly experienced as it is as an animator, and the lessons they're trying to teach me are not very challenging. Um, the teachers are a lot more loose than at the community college that I went to beforehand, so I do like it for that. The the classes though aren't too hard or challenging for me, sadly, because
Okay.
yeah, cause and which is kind of weird, because I'm finding it to be a little easy, and I'm spending a lot of money on these courses, so I kind of and it's still gonna take me 4 years to get this degree, so I wish I could just skip some of that. And as far as I know,
I
it's
mean, but you could take a test for that. Like you could take a test to skip.
yeah, but I'm not sure that exists for an animation type of college. For
Oh, I have another question. Is like, what are some future animations we can expect? What type of things are you working on? I know you're working on something right now. I think that's going to be for one of your, if I remember, uh, one of your advertisements, correct?
yes, this is a Lora Vicious plus short. It is going to feature our favorite vampire girl, Lora Vicious. There will be four of them, each one showing off Laura in different events. There will be a sort of spooky, scary twist theme going on with each of these, but they'll also involve the Laura plush from Makeshift, which is a piece of merchandise. Sorry, my speech is getting slurred. Laura plush is coming
No
from
big.
Makeshift. It's a special toy that's coming out. It will be on sale June 22nd. No, wait. June 19th. Laura plush will be on sale for 2 weeks. So look out for that. That's when all these animations will come out, showing you all what it looks like in its cute, adorable, vicious glory. I hope you all like it, and I hope you all will take a chance and buy one for yourself. I would really appreciate it.
Okay, and one of the things that a lot of people are posting is Gamers 2. Okay, so Gamers 2, what's going on with that?
Eh, well, you should already know, Ethan. I mean, can you describe this one? I could do it, but I've done it so many times. How about you take a shot at it?
Basically, he's still working on it. That's basic. That's like super uh simple way of putting it. He's still working on it. That he has he like I said, he's been doing all of this by himself. So like he has no one to help him with any of his animations. He is working very hard, especially during the whole quarantine. He has a lot of extra time. Currently, he is obviously working on the advertisement for Lora Vicious, which actually he actually got a plushie of himself, and it's very high quality from what he told me. It's
Yes, it is
you
really
know
good looking, and um, it'd be a real shame if others, weren't able to purchase this. I don't mean to try and keep plugging this make myself sound like an advertisement, but it is really good. And the sad thing is, with this makeshift campaign, if not enough people make a pre-order, then the item will not get made and everyone will be refunded, and that's sad. And I don't want that to happen. Not with Laura.
I feel like I've seen the prototypes of the plushies from what you sent me, but I haven't seen the full thing. But it looks really good. Looks but yeah, I know I don't feel like I'm trying to push. Am I lagging, by the way? Like, do you hear me good, by the way?
Well, so far you've been coming through.
Because there's a guy saying that I'm lagging. I don't know if I'm lagging out. Um, so yeah, that's what's going on with gamers too. And then so
Yeah,
I remember
gamers.
me and him were talking about like a lot of his animations of what's gonna be going on. Kristen is very busy. Um, but if anyone has any questions, we're always willing to answer anyone. It's pretty
Absolutely. Feel free to
uh
ask any questions you
everyone
like.
everyone
With Ethan here, it should be easier for me to keep track of all the questions because I could be here working and Ethan can look through all the chat to see what we can come up with. Otherwise, we'll probably
uh
just be just chatting away about
oh,
anything.
Pronex Studio videos will be released in June, so they'll be coming about in a month or so. When he said he's going to be releasing some. The date I do not know, but he will be releasing those videos very soon. So be expecting something in June.
The lower plush
The
will
whole
be $25.
quarantine.
Tartar sauce. Yeah, me and
Yeah,
Ethan live in the desert, and currently there's been something that we call Mothmageddon, if anyone's heard of that.
I've
Basically,
never heard of this.
a ton of moths just sort of show up out of nowhere, and I have no idea why. And this has only happened, this is the third time it's happened, but it's happened two other times before in my life. It And the first time it happened, moths just filled the sky. There were moths everywhere. You open your car door and they just flew right out like bats, and it got dust everywhere. Oh, it was crazy. And you had to get the fly swatter and like swat them out. And then when you're driving, more come out from like your car hood, and it's just you got moths everywhere.
I'm just saying I don't live in the boons, so I don't experience this.
Really, you want to call this area the boons? It's not the boons. Okay, so that eye looks good.
Um,
Now we'll work on this cheek.
I was gonna ask a quick question. One of the people asked like, how long does it take to make animation? Typically, because I know you work very hard, and I've seen you work on the movie that you made, and that took
Oh yeah.
I feel like a year or so.
If you if you want to get specific on that movie took me 2 years, but the first year was writing the script. And honestly, it took a year to make that movie, but I was like working on it every day, every night, through the night, and it was torture. I hated working on that movie. I dedicated way too much time to that, and yeah. But in general, animations nowadays, my animations depends on my schedule. Right now, as I said, I'm going to college, so that's been taking up some of my time. Uh, Before, an animation like Lora Vicious or even Gamers just took me a month, but that was a month of nonstop working. So now it's gonna take me even longer for two main reasons: college and my animation quality has gone up. In fact, that's why these videos I'm working on aren't technically animations. They're what I call graphic stories. It's kind of like those comic dub compilations, that exist on YouTube if anyone's watched those.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Lagged out for.
Sorry, Ethan. I don't think we heard you on that one. You kind of cut out there.
Oh, I was saying you lagged out. I guess I'm lagging.
Yep, you're really lagging out. Sorry, everybody. We're trying to get this to work right. So, I guess for the most part, I'll be the one chatting. Hopefully, Ethan can join in every now and then.
What inspired you to do animation? Some people want to know.
What inspired me to pursue animation is a lot of stuff, and I've told Ethan about this many times.
It's mainly cartoons, right? Like you were a big fan of like a lot of like old cartoons.
Yes, Ethan, it was cartoons. The biggest one would be Ed and Eddie. That had
Ed and Eddie.
that had a pretty big influence on me. It's my favorite cartoon, and it's just so funny. Every frame from that just looks hilarious. But it's not the only cartoon that really influenced me. The first one that really got me to draw my own character is one called Cat Scratch. Nickelodeon used to air these shorts where the creator, Doug TenNapel, would draw the characters. And there's one he did where he drew the character Gordon. And I thought, hey, that looks cool. I can draw him at home. So I tried to draw him, but I didn't do too good in my own rendition. It came out a lot different than what I was hoping for. So, I just ended up drawing something else, and I said, you know what, forget it. I'll just mess with this and make it a different character, make it a rabbit, I guess, because I don't care anymore. So I messed with
Oh,
it.
is that
Whoa,
that
what was that?
was that me? Sorry, did I just lag out?
Well, kind of. You just did like a giant jump scare there. You were
Oh,
loud
sorry.
for a second. What's going on? You got Five Nights at Freddy's going on over there? Not the
Bad.
game, but the real life version.
Oh, the what is it? The Silver Eyes, the book.
Oh, I got that comic, the graphic novel. I haven't been able to read it yet because I've been
There's
doing
a graphic
this.
novel for it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like anime. If you were hoping that would be it, but
No, I know what a graphic novel is like. I've
No.
read Artemis Fowl graphic novels.
okay.
Like
I've
more like comic.
I kind of seen those like at the store. I never actually
Pretty interesting.
read Artemis Fowl.
Read it. I like Artemis Fowl. It's a pretty good series.
Okay, that's good.
I would definitely recommend. What are the? This is just my question. Other than animating, you know what? Here's one.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious about this. Is there any particular person that you would idol?
That I would. Did you ask? Is there any particular person that I would idolize? Sorry, what was that?
That is exactly what it is.
Yeah, Ethan pretty much knows this in spades, but my idol is Danny Antonucci, who, again, is the creator of Ed and Eddie. He's been my idol ever since I was a kid, a young chap, and I, looked at the credits of Ed and Eddie, the opening, and it said created by Danny Antonucci, and I thought to myself, wow, this guy made this show? That's amazing. And I saw the behind the scenes video on YouTube. I was so thrilled to see that and get to see what Danny Antonucci looked like. And then I heard the story on how Danny used to pitch Ed and Eddie to Nickelodeon, but they actually accepted it, but told him that they wanted to control have creative control, and he didn't want that. So he believed in his idea and took it to Cartoon Network. And I thought, yeah, that's what you should do. You don't have to just sell it to the first person that says yes. If you really believe your idea is a solid one, then you shouldn't settle. Something like that.
I wonder, like, if you get an opportunity to sell your work.
What was that, Ethan? It sounded like you just said, I wonder if we ever get an opportunity your work.
I'm sorry, am I lagging?
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Okay, I was saying, I was wondering if there's any opportunity that you stumble upon that you would your work. Would you
That I would what my work?
sell it, like sell your creations?
Oh, I'm not too sure anymore. I kind of view my creations as mine, and it's hard, and it's I can entrust them to someone else to do something with, but to actually say I don't own the rights anymore, that's something I'm actually afraid of. I don't think I can handle that idea. And cuz I don't know if I can, like, if I sold Lora Vicious, God forbid, to someone else and they turned Laura into a completely different character or modified her personality in some way that I wouldn't have, I would think to myself, that's not Laura, and I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't legally make anything with Laura, and if I was put in a situation like that, I would try to not sign that contract. I don't want to sell my characters away like that. I'd at least like to have some kind of creative control, so if they try to do something, I tell them no, and they won't do it.
Yeah. I was just kind of wondering. Okay, then a lot of people are asking what type of software are you using, and do you use an animation tablet? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to the second one. He does use a tablet,
Yeah,
for
I
like drawing and
use
all that stuff.
yes, I use a Wacom. I guess you could call it a tablet. It's really more of a monitor to me. And honestly, I'm not even using the touchscreen right now because this stuff, it's pretty easy. I can just use the mouse to select everything. This part of the
Animations.
this part of the Lora plush won't even really be seen on screen. It'll be covered by Laura's hands, so I don't really have to make it look too good here. Just gotta put all the necessary pieces in place, you know.
Yeah. What type of animation software do you use?
Currently, it's Adobe Animate. I don't recommend it too much. I always say that. Thing is, the industry is really moving with the software Toon Boom, and that's a lot better. I'm just using it because this is what I know, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to college. I hope they'll teach me about Toon Boom. Imagine my surprise when I asked them what programs they use, and they tell me that they're using Adobe Animate, and I'm thinking, are you serious? You're using that? You're not going to teach me anything on that. Heck, I fear that I'm going to be the one teaching everyone else. I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. If it happens, I'll let it happen, but I'd rather work on Toon Boom. Although the instructor did tell me that they will be getting Toon Boom later, so by the time I get to those courses, I should be working on that.
So why don't you use Toon Boom right now then? Is it's like does it cost a little too much?
It costs
The anime.
about $1,000 to own, for one thing. You,
But
yeah, and that's to own. You can pretty much rent it for cheaper.
you're renting it, so like a month.
Yeah. So the thing is, I really should move to Toon Boom, but like I said, I it's kind of intimidating for me because it looks a lot different. Excuse me, I apologize for that. But yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to do that. It's like when I used to draw with the DSI on the software called Flipnote, and
I
that
know that flip. I know flip note. It's basically like
yeah,
when you have like those little like sticky notes. That's basically how it worked. The program where a page at a time.
yeah, it was on the Nintendo DSI. I think there's a new one out actually for the 3DS. I don't think I haven't really seen much of that though. I heard they added new colors though. Isn't that interesting?
Get more colors.
Ooh. Yeah, I was really
Um, what is this like outline? Outline. These are called. I forgot what they're called. Like it's like an outline of this like character, right?
You mean this thing I'm tracing over?
Yes.
If you
Like
mean
that.
the design I'm tracing over, that's the sketch. I draw a sketch of the characters first, and then I have to make a digital rendition afterwards. Lots of artists and animators do it this way. You would think I would just draw it on the in the program as it is, but it doesn't always work out too good. I don't always have complete control over the line work and the design, and even with the touchscreen Wacom, it's not always on point, I guess you could say. Basically, it's much easier to draw these by hand outside of the program. Speaking of hands, I really hate drawing hands. They always take too long, and there's always a specific way to make them look.
Oh, for Neo, yes, Kristen does enjoy making his work as much. It there's a
What?
very long days and trading.
Oh, hey, I just checked the chat. Evie Devi, what flip notes did you do? My channel name was Nintendo YL. Originally, YL didn't even stand for anything. I just wanted 2 letters at the end. But later, after I invented the name YowLife, I decided, you know what? YL stands for YowLife. That's what it means. And the flip
Would you quit?
and the flip notes that I really made, the primary ones were a series called Soda Wars. I use the word series loosely because it was just a bunch of trailers for all the movies that didn't come out. There were so many.
Oh man,
We were
Soda
kids at
Wars.
the time, and me and Ethan were kept arguing about which soda was better. So I
Oh
told him,
man.
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make an animation where my army of cream soda defeats your army of root beer. How do you like
Oh, but
that?
okay, that's what it later became. But no, at first we were like super powered like characters. Like one was dark, one was light, and one represented Coke. Oh, not Coke. One represented root beer, one represented cream soda. I think I was. You were light, like you were like a yellow that was cream soda, and I was like a brown black that was root beer.
Wait,
It
what? I
was
don't remember
ridiculous.
that.
That's how it started.
Did it? I
Yeah, like that at the very beginning. I don't remember it being armies at the beginning. I think it later
Yeah, no,
became
I
armies.
remember it. Well, I remember because if you want to call the very first video an animation, we had armies, and I remember that vividly because I had to draw every somewhat tank, and I just kind of made a mess of scribbles, and called that like an army. I wish I still had that video. I would totally like upload it somewhere.
It would have been so garbage. Be such a random post of like your quality now, and then like seeing this like.
Yeah, this it's not even really an animation. It's more like an animatic, if anything. An animatic drawn by like a 10-year-old kid.
Oh man.
Not believe it or not, I aired that animation like at a high school once. Well,
No.
what happened was it was my freshman year, and they were asking the students of previous work. So I told them, oh yeah, I made an animation once, and I directed him to the video, and then they watched it, and then I just thought to myself, oh my god, this is really bad. Why did I show them this? And immediately after, I deleted it, and I really regret that because yeah, it was kind of cheesy, I guess. Well, no, not cheesy, choppy. That's what I really mean. But it was still pretty nostalgic for me.
Yeah. But like Soda Wars, we had so many like topics and like ideas. Like we had like ones where a Kool-Aid man was the enemy. He was like making the world like where soda was like it was
Yeah,
so
Kool
ridiculous.
Aid Man was the enemy in Soda Wars. In fact, his name was Cruel Aid. Get it? Because he's
It's
cruel.
Kool-Aid. Yeah.
And he had, instead of the red liquid, he was black liquid. And he had a leather jacket because leather jackets are cool.
Yeah, we were such children. We were so ridiculous with
Yeah.
how we were making. We had another friend that was Coke.
Yeah,
We haven't
you
talked to him in a
forced
while,
that
but
guy kind of into it. Because the thing was, I was kind of satisfied. You said, hey, put Austin in there. He says Coke is better. And I thought, you know what, fine, because Coke does kind of fit. It's not cream soda. It's a flavor that's always associated with soda. So, all right, well, but we have to call him Cola because Coke's a brand name and we can't use brand names.
Yeah, fair enough. And then we were and then female character.
The female characters.
It just yeah.
That was a lot later on. There were, well, to even get to the female characters in the theoretical series Soda Wars that we invented as children, you'd have to explain all the different movies we planned to do. There was going to be so many different movies, and at some point there were going to be female I don't want to say soda because one was pink lemonade, one was an energy drink, and the last one was ginger ale. And
Oh yeah, ginger. I forgot about ginger ale.
Yeah, those weren't their names. Those are just the sodas, the drinks they represented.
I know.
Yeah, I
So
think.
Citrus was her name though. I remember she had like pink hair.
Wait, Citrus? No, it was
And
Pete.
Citrus?
No, Citrus was a different character. Citrus was a character, but I kind of hate that character now because I created him because I'm embarrassed to say this, but Adult Swim had a program called Freaknik, and I actually got really interested in having like a rapper character that was kind of like an alien. So I just threw something like that into Soda Wars and called him Citrus. And looking back, why did I invent that?
Because we were children, bro.
Yeah, I'm more, surprised you let me do that, Ethan. You actually said, yeah, that sounds good.
That's not my fault.
Because if you want to say you helped create Soda Wars, you gotta take half the credit.
I mean, I guess I could take that. I egged you on.
Unless I do something good, in which case I did everything myself. Yeah.
Exactly. Which is gamers, which is freaking
Lora Vicious.
drawing notes, Lora Vicious. They're all yours.
Yeah.
Like Captain S, that's mine.
It's not really yours. I had to really ask you to please be the character before you finally said, "All right, I'll do it."
I mean, like, I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy, and I was really self-conscious about like being on in front of a camera. It's really scary being on in front of a camera and saying lines. It's like kind of odd. It's a very scary experience to be food and all that stuff. Like people see what you look like.
Let's see. I saw a good question actually.
Was it?
Well, it wasn't really a question. It was a comment. Let me see if I can find that. There it is. So, some dude who draws 93. You say you love my version of Bouette? Thank you. I didn't want to do the same thing everyone else was doing. I kept seeing the white dress, and I love the white dress, but I thought, this is King Boo. He's got to have, something more unique. So I figured, blue will go well with his color palette, so I went with blue. And there are some things I think I would improve upon. I would extend the back of it to look more like some kind of, what's it called? Like a back cape, I guess you could call it. And if I ever have the time, I'd love to make a sequel to My Spooky Boo. And the obvious title would just be My Spooky Boo 2. In the sequel...
Would you make Boo do, though?
Sorry, what was that?
Would you make Spooky Boo do, though?
Actually, this one would be a bit more story-driven, I guess. What would happen is... It's all very rough right now. I don't have it fully fleshed out, but it would have King Boo in, like, his lair. Whatever I figure out that is. Maybe it's a new haunted house. And then he gets introduced to Well, no, no. What happens next is the crown speaks to him, and you think he's gonna put it on again, but instead he like locks it away and throws it in a closet or something. And then we hear, and then like the house begins to shake, and we see something else is coming, and then we see a female Boo show up, and this will be an original character because I couldn't find one that could fit. Well, actually, if there is a Mario character that has an infatuation with King Boo, let me know because I'll gladly use her, as long as she's a Boo, preferably. If not, I guess I'll have to create my own. But I prefer to
Well,
use one that exists.
there's already a Boo character that's in Paper Mario, and she's a female. I don't know if she has any type of situation with Boo, but I forgot her name. But she is a character in Paper Mario.
Now, if it's not the cat ears one, wasn't there like a Lady Bow? Is that the character?
I think so.
Bas-
Not quite sure.
Basically, a female Boo shows up, and then she starts, yelling at King Boo, and we see speech bubbles that shows that they had some kind of date planned, and he never showed up because King Boo's a jerk. And through this, her arguing, King Boo's just bored and tired of this, and he just basically finds a way to sneak out while she's arguing, and she gets mad and throws a tantrum. Then she'll stumble upon the Super Crown, which speaks to her. She'll put it on, and then we get a new Booette. And then this Booette will try and seek revenge on King Boo.
Okay.
So
There was a question. What is your well? I'm gonna just say it a different way because it says children, and I don't like the way children that you created. I don't like that type of situation. Anyway, what is out of all your creations? What's your favorite?
all my creations, all my characters, you mean?
Like, what's your favorite? What's your favorite to draw or animate or?
Well, those are very distinct categories. I'd my favorite to draw and animate, if you want to combine them, would be Leo from Move It Leo, but only because I really simplified his design. His hat was just two circles. His hair was just like three pieces that I
It's so
shifted.
spastic.
Yeah, and his eyes were very simple. They weren't too detailed, just dots, and his hands would turn into balls at he was very easy, but I don't think design-wise he's my favorite. I'd say that is hard, and my answer always changes. Let's see. Lora Vicious is definitely one of my favorite girls I've created. Just the idea that she's so nice and sweet, despite being a vampire and having the stigma that vampires are bloodthirsty creatures of the night in this world. And yeah. I'd say the worst one I had to draw was Nurse Perry from Dental Destiny because I put too many details on her outfit and it was just a pain to draw over and over again. I'm glad I didn't animate that one, and I might simplify her outfit in a new animation if I can ever get around to that.
Okay, so the YouTuber or some of your people found out Lady Boo is called from Paper Mario. She's called Bo. Lady Bo.
Yeah.
She's a green Boo.
Okay. Well, does Lady Bo... I haven't played that game, so I'll probably have to look this up, but if anyone wants to just, say it, does Lady Bo have some kind of mean personality, some kind of sass? Does she have any infatuation with King Boo or authority or royalty or riches? Anything like that?
She is royalty, if I remember, I think. Oh, she has a mansion, if I remember.
Oh, if she does, that'd be nice.
I think she has a mansion. People are asking why no bounty hunters are in Lora Vicious.
Why would there be vampire hunters? This is a world where monsters have integrated into society. That'd be like a murderer going around. I guess.
There are no humans in Lora Vicious?
There are, but in this town, it's mostly monsters. Humans are pretty rare in this town. Not that there aren't any; they're just more common elsewhere.
People are saying King Bo or Lady Bo is very sassy.
Very sassy. You know what? Maybe she's gonna be making an appearance in a Bouette animation. Ooh.
I just wanted to say a quick comment. Your animations for like females have gotten a lot better. They look definitely. I always say this every time we talk, but they do look a lot better than since you first started.
Thanks, man. I also think that my work on the female characters has increased. I'd say the part that I don't that I tend to spend the most time on would be the chest because I'm always very antsy about getting it to look just right. You know, if you get that.
What is that?
Here we go. Hopefully everyone can hear that. I put on some sweet jazz, royalty free. Oh yeah.
I can hear it now. I had to mute it. Oh, I mute the videos so I don't have to like hear myself.
That's fine. You can hear me though, right?
I can hear you.
That's good.
You know what? I feel like I'm spacing out. Like we could just like randomly just talk about like random. What video games have you been playing?
Video games.
Anything?
Not so much, sadly. Cause I've been working on this. I think the last video game I played was for Halloween last year, and that was Luigi's Mansion 2.
Oh my goodness. In Dark Moon, not 2?
Yeah. I'm beginning to find out that it's not very scary. In fact, it's more like a mission game, and I was really disappointed.
I have Luigi's Mansion 3, and
I know.
I don't feel the animation is very, very good.
Oh yeah,
I don't feel it is that scary either.
It's not. Dang! Why'd you have to tell me that?
Well, I mean, it's not spoiling anything. It's not spoiling. I'm also not that far. I'm also not that far.
Yeah, but
make it scary.
I'm not that far in Luigi's Mansion 2, and yes, I'm calling it Luigi's Mansion 2. But
I mean, you also realize that like we're grown adults now, so like scary things. I'm used to like Dead Space. Like I was playing.
I replayed Luigi's Mansion 1 before playing Luigi's Mansion 2, and that still gave me the chills. I wasn't like freaking out over anything, but still, I got the mood.
Got in the mood.
Yeah. Mood
no, been playing a good amount of games. I've played like a lot of the recent games. I've played I haven't beaten all of them, but I played a good amount of Doom Eternal. That's a very, very good game.
Yes.
I've heard it's getting review bombed though.
What?
I'm just like, why is it getting review bombed?
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's a very, very good game. I think it's going on with Bethesda and all that stuff.
Bethesda, yeah, has some issues, but just because you don't like them for their other stuff doesn't mean you should be bad-mouthing a game that, for all intents and purposes, is actually fairly good, as far as I've heard. I don't really play first-person shooter games.
Okay, so Jack keeps spamming this question. The Scarecrow people, what's their species? Answer that question. You may stop spamming.
The Scarecrow people in Lora Vicious? Well, that seems
What are they called?
If you mean in Lora Vicious, they're just scarecrows. I didn't think of any special name for them. I don't think I should, because scarecrow is already very descriptive. I mean, Lora's a vampire. I didn't, try to specify that.
Fair enough. Neo, yes, I've played Terraria. I don't know if Chris has played Terraria. I like it. It's I know it. I heard it got its last update. It got a huge update. Do you know about SCPs? Do you read any SCPs or play any of the games for SCPs?
I think you've told me about SCPs before. Aren't those monsters?
Yeah, they're basically monsters. There is a game based on them.
Really? I did
Doesn't
not
have
know
a
that.
lot of them. You can look up a lot of SCP. But I know one of them is like an angel. Basically, I think is like SCP-001, where he's an angel, where everything that gets in his range, which is a huge range if I remember. I don't know the full details. He annihilates. Like you can't get any visuals on him, what he looks like, because he's an angel. I know